Whenever studios actually make games for gamers, activists in this industry meltdown. They are furious that the Lords of the Fallen 2 studio has decided to do away with body type A, B, and go back to male, female, that they are putting skimpy, sexy armor in this sequel, and now they are writing hit piece after hit piece after hit piece on this latest set of armor reveals, and they are trying their best to get people to boycott this sequel and really ignore this studio's existence. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, a few days ago, it was unveiled that Lords of the Fallen 2 was going to feature quite a few sets of sexy armor. Scantily clad babes in this game have really upset the snowflakes, and we had seen a initial wave of hit pieces come out by Polygon, WCCF Tech, and even Push Square, but now Kotaku's jumped into the mix. They are trying their best to get people upset over this game's existence, and it's not working because most of them are being ratioed and wrecked online. It is very simple when I say gamers just want good entertainment. Gamers want the industry to go back to the way that it used to be. And I don't think every single woman in a video game needs to be some 10 out of 10 bombshell. I think it's perfectly fine to have characters like Brienne of Tarth in A Song of Ice and Fire, where part of her story is the fact that she is ugly. I think that it's fine that you have average looking characters in games, but when I am buying skins and I am getting to end game, I want my characters to look cool and sexy, and I want them to look badass. It's not that hard to understand. There are plenty of women who love attractive characters in entertainment, and there are plenty of men who love attractive characters in entertainment. It's not offensive or wrong to like fan service and like your characters looking cool. So this is Kotaku's latest hit piece, and man, oh man, it just shows how desperate they are for some sort of attention, because when the CI Games CEO Marek Tymiński last year had said that they were going to put gamers first and they were going to implement the results of polls, the most notable one being going from body type AB to male and female, this really put a target on their backs. I had done an interview with the CI Games CEO Marek Tymiński on the channel in January of 2025. It'll be linked down below in case you want to hear some of his live answers to questions that I had. But it seems that this mentality of putting gamers first has really upset these snowflakes, because for so long they have been catered to. They have been pandered to by the AAA industry. And now that they realize, oh my gosh, not every single studio is listening to what they want, that has really, really upset them. So Kotaku starts out this article by talking about artistic integrity and how artists don't have to make content for other people, which I think is pretty ridiculous. Sure, in theory, if you're an artist, you should be making what you want, but at the same time, if it's for you, why are you so focused on making money on it and releasing it? You should, yeah, obviously put your vision first, but you have to realize if you're not making a product for the masses and you're not making something that other people are also going to enjoy, then it's not going to sell. And this studio wants to, of course, sell a product, but also wants as many people to play their game as possible. It's not that hard to understand. They say that a common refrain in video game spaces is the importance of player feedback. Obviously, quality assurance and bug fixing are vital parts of the game development process that require meticulous playtesting and iteration toward the truest version of any given game. But some players are convinced that their personal preferences are just as important. I love how they say this when they're actually talking about themselves, because people like this will freak out when they are not the target audience. In 2026, one of the most radical things a game studio can do is ask its players what they actually want to see and then listen to the answer, says YouTuber The Background NPC in a sponsored video about the upcoming dark fantasy RPG Lords of the Fallen 2. The video is a bizarre marketing campaign for the new in-game collection of generically horny female-only armor. She was partnered with them when this armor was created. Why is that so hard for you to understand? Her input is an important part of this story. It's not like they just gave her a shit ton of money and said, oh yeah, shill for our game. The armor drop is a blatant attempt to cater to misogynistic culture war fanatics, as the background NPC complains about the designs of female characters such as Abby from The Last of Us Part 2 and other hot women who certain gamers can't get it up for and make everyone else's problem. I love how they say, and other hot women. Yeah, you find that woman hot, but other people don't, and that's perfectly fine because ultimately it's not a requirement that we play that game, and it's not a requirement you play this one. It's not misogynistic to want beautiful characters in video games. I don't want a 500-pound land whale to be the next Superman. I expect Superman to be a hunky, beautiful looking man, and that's perfectly fine. Anytime they are not catered to, they say, oh, the developers are trying to cater to misogynistic culture war fanatics. The person who's bringing up the culture war here is you. The person who's trying to turn this game into a controversy, and the person who is trying to attack this game based on what they think is a attempt to cater to a certain audience is you. You're the only one talking about that. Well, now technically I am, and I'm sure plenty of you watching this video are, but it's because we're calling these journos out. It's just that simple. Not only is Kotaku doing this, but Liam Croft, the deputy editor at Push Square, had said that this armor is downright embarrassing. You know what's downright embarrassing? Being probably a fucking 40-year-old man who is looking at a pair of pixelated breasts and going, oh my god, this is so offensive to women. I don't see any women complaining about this, okay? I think maybe it's time to stop being a white knight when nobody asked you to be one. WCCF Tech said that the only reason there's skimpy armor in this game is because of the CEO's anti-political correctness pivot, and then Polygon said action RPG devs make a desperate plea for relevance with horny armor designs. If you look at some of the top selling games, they are ones that have attractive characters. Not everybody wants to see Abby getting it from behind. Not every single person wants to see some absolutely butt ugly character bitch about the patriarchy for 25 hours. And newsflash, there are a overwhelming majority of men out there who simply want their entertainment to be fun. They don't want a narrative forced in their face. They don't want to be attacked by the very people they're giving money to. They don't want to have to sit here and question their choices of whether or not they should have bought this game at all. They just want to see fantasy. They want to see these fictional worlds. And if you wanted to see the norm, you would just go outside. And so it's perfectly acceptable to say, I would rather buy a game that has beautiful women in it versus normal to ugly looking women in it. But going back to Kotaku's post, they are not quite yet getting ratioed in terms of comments to likes, but when you start counting up the likes on the comments and the reposts and how many are not in Kotaku's favor and not running to Kotaku's defense, it's looking bad. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chief. You are getting bodied in the comments and you deserve it. Boring bikini armor, Kotaku seeing this slop. Wow, so powerful, so brave. 10 out of 10. Yeah, if you saw these armor sets and these character designs, Exhibit A, and then you see this, and let's say for argument's sake, Abby as Exhibit B, you're going route A every single time. Oh noes, is that a pretty girl looking good? Call the modern audience police. This is why Kotaku is mad at her, because she pointed out their hypocrisy. I think Kotaku is just a bunch of Fs that should stick to picking up mushrooms in a forest. Yeah, Leon Scott Kennedy, I'm on prep. These are the types of articles that Kotaku has been writing. And look, I love Leon Kennedy too, but you don't see me putting up videos and writing articles about how I'm wishing he was a real guy and I'm creating this fan fiction in my head where Leon Kennedy falls madly in love with me. That's not happening, but that's what Kotaku's doing. Not to mention, no gameplay was shown so far, all style, no substance. They pale in comparison to this queen. You kind of know what you're getting based on the first game, and they are going to make changes, but at the same time, they are pretty different aesthetics. It's not like a one to one. And I don't think that these people are even really looking for gameplay because they just want to be outraged. LOL, you're so mad at your own irrelevance. Gamers are laughing at Kotaku writers. So, yeah, I am sure we're going to see more hit pieces like this as we get closer to the release of Lords of the Fallen 2, but there's another wave of hit pieces. A lot of these journos are getting absolutely dunked on, and they deserve it. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.